This week, Drake files a lawsuit, and it's getting ugly out here in these streets. I'm going to talk about that this week, man. Let's get into it.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. This is episode 79, and we are live. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode. I appreciate you guys. Let me get this out really quick, guys. I love y'all first and foremost. Thank you for sticking with me. This has been a horrible week. I was supposed to get this video out earlier this week, and I'm going home to see my folks, my parents, and some friends. And I live in the UK. I was trying to find somebody to keep my dog, and let me tell you, that was like the craziest shit ever. And I know, first world problems, I get it, but I don't have a lot of people over here in the UK with me. I don't have friends. It's just like me and my dog. And so that's a super important thing. Like, my dog needs to be taken care of. So it was hard to tell trying to find a sitter or find somewhere for her to be boarded over in the UK. I got so many no's and I got so many people turning me down. It was ridiculous. So it was just one of those situations where I was tied up with that on top of rescheduling on my flight because I couldn't find anybody. I was going to fly out earlier and do all of this stuff. And now it's to the point where we found somebody, thank God. And I was just able to get this done. But I was just going through a week of like stressed out trying to find somebody to keep my dog and me actually having to reschedule my flight and all this other stuff. It's just a lot, bro. Y'all have to understand, I'm a one-man show. I do everything. And so when I'm caught up with important things like that, like, I have to take care of them, because if I don't, who will? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a team. It's just me. So I just wanted to apologize for not getting any content out. Like, not even the news got out this week. And that has a lot to do with me and not posting and not getting it out there. So really, I just wanted to say I apologize. I'm happy that you guys didn't leave. We are a small community that's growing into a big community, and I can't grow this without you guys. So just thank you for being patient and me getting this video out. This video was supposed to come out Wednesday, and I recorded it. I had to re-record some other stuff, and it just was a big mess. But thank you guys for sticking with me, and I appreciate it so much.
Music news.
So this past week, Drake dropped his petition against Spotify and UMG. Let's start that off right there. He dropped his petition, kind of looking into everything. Internet went crazy. Everybody was saying, oh yeah, see, he's a loser. This nigga fucked up. He's dumb. And the very next day, he drops the lawsuit that's going to be against UMG. Now, what I'm going to do is go over different points of what's happening and give you my opinions about all of this stuff bit by bit. And I'm going to be honest with you right now. Everything is a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say, you're probably not going to agree with. And if you don't agree with it, you can put it in the comments. If you're going to come at me, please come with a little bit of respect. That's all I'm asking. So let's start with the beginning. Let's start at the top. What's the core of the lawsuit? So the lawsuit is basically centered around allegations that UMG is deliberately trying to devalue and harm Drake's reputation to gain leverage in an upcoming contract negotiation. Now, if you guys don't know, Drake has been dealing with UMG since 2009. He signed this deal in 2019. And now it's time for renegotiations, or it's about to be up in 2025. The fodder that I've seen on the internet about this is fucking hilarious. You want to know why? Because I think there's a lot of people who are reading the blogs and not really pulling up the lawsuit. Now, if anybody who follows me on Instagram knows, I went through the whole 81-page lawsuit. Like, I found it, downloaded it, read it, made notes. I did everything that I needed to do. But you niggas, a lot of you people out there really feel like all I need is the tidbits. All I need are these things that's coming from the blogs that are really not informing you on anything, just to get your content out and just to get your shit off. It's low-key kind of scary, man. That's what we're living in the content creator space. That you niggas don't have nothing else better to do but get on stream, talk a lot of bullshit, and don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you just want to make allegations because you need to run these views up. Man, the game really does suck these days because you niggas are trash. Just throwing it out there. If you really want to be taken seriously as somebody in this content space, Why don't y'all get the information first before y'all start going in on a lot of this bullshit? And stop picking and choosing everything out of this lawsuit that you feel like is going to gain you fans or gain you subscribers. It's an ugly game out here. People are going to disagree with you no matter what. I'm prepared for this because you know why? I don't know none of y'all niggas. I don't know y'all. So I understand the opinions being fiery and hot when it gets into the comment section. So it's cool. I'm okay with that. But it's some nasty, nasty work out here. And a lot of y'all out here looking real crazy. But it's okay. It's okay. We are in hip-hop media is entertainment-based now. And a lot of the stuff that's going on, these shenanigans that you guys are pulling, y'all are just wanting to, tap dance. It's cool. That's what you like to do. Go ahead and do it. So what's at the heart of this whole lawsuit? So the allegations are defamation. Drake is saying that he's basically accusing UMG of releasing and promoting false and damaging material to accuse him of being a PDF or an offender. Now, allegedly, UMG took unprecedented steps to be able to get this message out here. In the lawsuit, it's stating that they whitelisted this song, Not Like Us, for allowing people who are content creators, streamers, YouTubers, and people who do things on social media, influencers, to be able to use this song to completely use widespread defamation. The lawsuit is stating that the material caused widespread false allegations. They're also saying there was millions of views, just amplifying him being a PDF or an offender. They're also saying that UMG's publication and promotion of the material contradicts its own policy against harassment and abusive behaviors. So I have to give a point to Drake's lawyers because they are really painting this as UMG taking this guy and making him saying that UMG is making him look like the worst person in the world. And they're also saying that the influencers, the Twitch streamers, YouTubers, all of these people took the information and ran with it. Now, if you guys don't remember, when this was going on, especially on social media, the first thing that people did was pull up old videos of Drake having conversations with underage girls at concerts. People were pulling up old texts. There were people who were doing confessionals saying, well, he talked to me at such and such time. I think it was a story of him showing up to a high school basketball game. It was nasty work out here. Now, when I look at the allegations and when I look at what happened from the song being out and for what UMG could have possibly done, I understand from the lawyer side of why they're painting it this way, but I also understand that Drake has a responsibility not to act that way. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, bro, like, there's literally video of you doing this stuff. He even made it a point to talk about during the beef about how his nudes leaked. He even made it a point in the beef to tell Kendrick to call me a PDF. Call me that. Go ahead. It doesn't mean anything. I think a lot of that came from him having too much ego, you had too much dip on your chip, bruh. You literally called this man out to do this kind of stuff. And sometimes when you ask for an ass whooping, you're gonna get it. I understand the lawyer side of things though. Like, that's the thing. This is more about business and less about hip hop. This is more about renegotiation and getting the money that he's asking for, and it's not about really having respect for the game. I think a lot of y'all get that mixed up. I think a lot of y'all really feel like, yo, man, he need to have respect for the game, bruh. He need to have respect for hip hop. That ain't it. A lot of us we haven't sat in front of a $400 million check before. I know I haven't. And a lot of y'all sit up here and say a lot of dumb things because you feel like, man, I'm not selling my morals out to be able to get $400 million. You don't know what's going to happen until it happens to you. And I think with Drake, I feel like he understands what his value is right now. When he signed that deal in 2019, I honestly feel like he never knew what his value was as an artist. He didn't know what he had. He didn't know who he was. He didn't know how much he could get off his name. We fast forward to 2025, and now it's to the point where he knows his value. He sees what other artists are doing, i.e. Kanye West. Think about it like this. Kanye West made $3 million in 24 hours off of selling $20 slippers. Not because the slippers are fire, but because his name is Kanye West. And $20 don't hurt either. Don't you think Drake and his team don't see stuff like that and say, hey, like this could be you in your renegotiations? If you want to re-sign the UMG, you should be asking for, and I don't know, this is a number I'm making up. I'm not saying this is what he's asking for. Let me preface it again because you niggas go crazy. I'm making this number up. I'm not saying this is in the lawsuit. But his team could be like, you need to ask for 1.5 billion. If you re-up with UMG, 1.5 billion. And when you think about it, UMG is one of the biggest labels in the world. They have a lot of control. They have a lot of power. They have their hands in everything. So it could be paid, but the question is, do they want to pay it? Hell no, they don't want to pay that. They don't want to pay him 1.5 billion. They don't want to pay him what he's owed. But they also don't want to let him out of his contract because you're letting go of a golden goose. You're letting go of somebody who, no matter what happens, he's going to hit a certain amount in streams. He's going to collect a certain amount when it comes to brand deals. His asking price is here no matter what, because he's got that, he's valued at that. Now, I think a lot of the argument comes down to, well, is it UMG that made him valuable, or is he valuable on his own? I don't know. Look at Drake in 2019. Go back to Drake in 2019. Clearly, he was big enough to sign this big-ass deal. And the deal is not just about music, too. The UMG deal had a lot more to do with. It had a lot to do with music. It had a lot to do with executive producing, and it had a lot to do with brand deals. I'm looking at the situation as UMG recouped that money before 2025. And I think they recouped it very fast. Think about all the tours he put together. Think about all the brand deals he's got with all of these gambling companies, Nike, so on and so forth. They have to be getting a percentage of all of that stuff that he's bringing in no matter what. And I think they got their money back sevenfold if need be. So I think as far as on the lawyer side of saying you guys are making sure that you're putting this Not Like Us song out here to kill my value or kill my renegotiation power, I think he has a point by saying that. But that doesn't take away from this nigga doing nasty shit. He did some nasty shit, bruh. So I really think that he has a smart team that's going into the right direction of how they're doing it. I hate that Not Like Us is caught in the middle of this also. So in the lawsuit, they do state this has nothing to do with Kendrick. They're not suing him or pursuing to sue him, even though he wrote the song and he made the song. But we are going to take lyrics and we are going to take different parts of the song and video to show that UMG magnified what was said in the song, and we're going to use that to our advantage. That's business, my nigga. It ain't hip hop. And for all of y'all who getting that shit mixed up, stop. Stop it. It's not hip hop. We get it. It would be different if I felt like he was really doing this to help other artists. But let me completely say this. Let me say this and let me be completely clear when I say it. Drake is doing this for him, not for the industry, not for independent artists, not for anybody else. He's doing it for him. Is it selfish? Yes. But does he have a family to feed? Yes. Why not get what your value is? Why not get what you feel like you're owed? That's how I look at it. It's business, bruh. It's complete business. Is it funky? You goddamn right it's nasty. But he's doing what's best for him and what he has to do to feed his family. And at the end of the day, a lot of these talking heads would do the same thing. Whatever they need to do to feed their family, they're going to do it. Some of them have morals, and some of them just don't give a fuck. So another part of the lawsuit claims that it was real world consequences after the song came out. So reading through it, one of the things they said was, post Not Like Us, his Toronto home was targeted by armed intruders, which we seen that on the news. But they're equating that to Pizzagate. Now, if you don't know what a Pizzagate is, definition over there. But his lawyer is equating this to Pizzagate, which I think is complete bullshit and stupid. This is nowhere near what Pizzagate is. Then they're also talking about the avalanche of online hate that Drake was getting. I referenced that earlier in the video. I said, when niggas was pulling up old videos and stuff like that. They're also talking about a lot of the social media websites making sure that that stuff was floating everywhere, and people calling Drake a PDF. There were a lot of people who were pulling lyrics and kind of equating them to him speaking on young girls. They're going in on a lot of stuff, and they're pulling one part of it that people aren't too happy about are the streamers. They do name a lot of the streamers in here about what their reaction was to the Not Like Us song, and some of the hate that they felt like Drake was getting from content creators in general. Drake also said it was a situation that forced him to pull his kid from school, send his baby moms away. He had to take measures to make sure his family was safe. I personally feel bad about his home being intruders and going into his home. I know one of his bodyguards got shot. In the lawsuit, they do go over that. I honestly think that has nothing to do with the Not Like Us song. That ain't got nothing to do with that. I personally feel like there's other things at play when it comes to this intruder situation. I can't say it without saying it because right now they are suing content creators, and I'm still a small content creator. But let's just say, me personally, I think that has a lot to do with Drake being very smart to set things in motion to make it look a certain type of way. And it just happened to be able to get into the lawsuit. And again, I know that someone got hurt in this situation, but I also understand that sometimes things can be manipulated in a way to look crazy. Take that statement with however you want to take it. It's just very weird to me that all of these years, even with the Pusha T beef, nobody has said anything or did anything to your home. You've been in beefs before. You was into it with Meek Mill. But you think all of a sudden because you get into it with Kendrick Lamar, which is, again, one of the biggest beefs we've had in years, that triggered somebody to attack your home, my nigga? I'm not buying it. And I know that doesn't sound very sensitive, but I don't care. I'm not buying that, bruh. Not one bit. I'm not buying it at all. I think there's way more to the situation than just the song came out and intruders just decided to attack his home. He gets into the situation where his bodyguard got shot. He gets into another situation where somebody dug a hole under his fence to get to his mansion. I never seen that in the news. Maybe that was some Toronto thing. I don't know. He also in the lawsuit, it is stated that there were billboards or there were posters that were being put up showing him being a PDF with another known PDF, and they were on the same poster together. They're saying that was another thing, another attack on who he is as a entertainer. I don't doubt. Oh, God damn it! I don't doubt that these things happened, but I don't think they happened because of the song. I just can't pull myself into going that route or thinking that was the reason why he got attacked. I'm just not going to do that because that's directly saying that hip hop is still where it used to be from the 90s or early 2000s, and that just ain't true. Like, niggas just don't move like that no more. They don't. I don't believe it. You may think differently, but I just don't think people move like that because of hip hop anymore. It's too much information. It's too many eyes everywhere. It's too much Big Brother for people to be attacking someone's home because of hip hop. That's all I'm saying. And we never heard anything from that story. And again, I don't even know if they caught the guys who did it. And even if they did catch them, we got no news about why or anything. So I just find it a bit fishy that out of all these years that you've had your mansion, none of this stuff happened. You've been to 2 beefs previously. Yeah, you've had 2 previous beefs, and all of a sudden, because of this particular one, now they want to attack your home. It just feels fishy to me. Again, I don't know the whole story. I don't know everything that went down, but it just really feels something fishy right there. So in another part of the lawsuit that I'm finding very weird, one point that they made was by tarnishing his image, UMG actually has a better position to negotiate in their favor when it comes to giving this man more money. In the lawsuit, Drake's lawyers are saying UMG decided they seen a situation where there were things already out there about him. They decided to say, well, we have a song that we can promote harder to be able to push those same narratives, and we're going to push them because we want to leverage the power to us, not to him. Why would we want him to look good if we want to re-sign him? They also go into a situation to where they talk about that Kendrick had a short-term deal with him as well to be able to do distribution through them and maybe even other things. This also kind of goes into saying, hey, why don't we sign two of the biggest names in hip hop right now under our label, and we can control a lot more music that way. Which I think is smart that Kendrick did sign short term. I think he understands a whole lot more. His deal is a distro deal through UMG, but when you think about it, UMG has been trying to become one of the biggest powers in music out right now. It's smart to be able to. I think UMG is smart to, one, devalue who Drake is to be able to re-sign him under a lesser deal or for less money. And if they allegedly did push Not Like Us, they're trying to show Kendrick, hey, we're valuable. You should sign long term or extend your deal with us, and that way we can help you more. I'm not saying that Kendrick took the bait. I'm just saying this is what's in the lawsuit. Why wouldn't you want to have two of the biggest artists in music right now under your umbrella? It just makes a whole lot more sense. They're playing chess in a lot of this shit. And when I say they, I mean UMG. UMG is playing chess around here. And to me, it's not hard to believe that they would do something like that. Again, when you look at the CEO of UMG, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to get my video taken down. But when you look at what he's positioned at Atlantic, what he's been doing at UMG, and some of these other places, on top of what he's been implementing when it comes to AI, when it comes to certain people getting fired, as far as like in 2024, if you guys remember, a ton of executives were getting fired from a lot of these smaller labels that's under the UMG umbrella. His son is over in another place handling business there as well. Why would you not? When you make moves like that, that's showing that you want to control the market when it comes to music, not just hip hop, but in music in general. Yeah, I could see them lessening somebody's value to show the other person that you want to sign long term to keep them. And then they got both. That's business. That's smart business to me. That is a situation where they are trying to make sure they hold all the cards at the end of the day. Now, if it worked, I mean, think about it. Drake is very devalued at this point. Seems like the man can't get a hit song out no more. It seems like he still got to go to Australia to do this tour, which I don't think that's something that he wants to do. He can't even put a freestyle out. Remember, the Fighting Irish freestyle came out earlier this year, and it wasn't even under his banner. It wasn't even up on his YouTube channel, and it got snatched really quick. UMG took that shit. They own him. They own everything that he does. So is that a smart move to be able to say, well, we own one of these motherfuckers. Why not own both? Again, a lot of this stuff, y'all are mistaken for this to be hip hop. This is hip hop stuff. We're not respecting the craft when at the end of the day, it's money games. It's business games. Niggas is playing with millions and billions of dollars. This ain't all just some hip hop shit. Yes, it looks a type of way when social media or people or talking heads places it in a certain way. They're paid to do that shit. These talking heads are saying the stuff that they're saying because, well, one, it pays them handsomely because it brings the people in to watch their pods. Two, come on. There's a lot of relationships behind the scenes that we don't know about that most definitely help them in more than just financial ways. I just think that the way that a lot of people are saying this ain't hip hop are the same talking heads that would most definitely sell their homeboys for $400 million. That's all I'm saying. And it's funny too, because I think some of these people, when they were talking about their renegotiation deals, went completely berserk When it came to renegotiations, they purposely made their product worse because they wanted out of their deal with this particular streaming company. Again, I don't want to name names, but I think you know who I'm talking about. These people have pulled similar moves, and again, it's like, well, they didn't file a lawsuit. Well, it wasn't. We weren't playing with 400 million and above. We're not talking billions of dollars. So again, I think a lot of this stuff comes from some of the major talking heads having certain types of deals and relationships behind the scenes. Again, I don't know nothing from a can of paint. This is all allegation. These are just me. This is just me reaching for the stars and speculating. But I do know one thing. A lot of these people have their own interests in mind when they have conversation about this. A lot of people want to paint this in a certain way when they say this is about hip hop when it's really more about music and music business. You're not going to sit up here and fool me under the guise of saying, well, this is all about hip hop when we know good and well that you have lawyers that have your best interest in mind. And if it came down to it, you would stab some of these niggas in the back to make sure you got your pay. I'm not saying all of the major talking heads are like that, but I think you know which ones would do that if you actually had to put money on it. So there's a lot more to it than that. And I think the way that people are trying to paint this and the way that people are trying to make this look like it is about hip hop and it's about music and it's about this, it ain't. It's about negotiation. It's about getting your money and it's about being paid what you're owed. That's it. So there's a few more things I want to talk about. I want to cover really quick too. This is just opinion stuff. But when we look at this, the implications, this lawsuit can redefine how labels approach contracts, how they approach negotiations, how we can probably understand that they've been using different type of tactics to push different people's music or maybe even silence people's music if that's the case, if they don't like them. We should keep our eye out for this more than just saying this is hip hop and this is not a hip hop. It's a bigger fight here, especially when you think about what Drake is doing. Drake is essentially taking on the most powerful devil ever. And I'm talking about the music industry. Drake has put himself out there. And this lawsuit is not going to fare well for him. When I said the petition, if you go back to the episode where I talk about the petition that got filed, I said he is setting himself up to be taken down really bad. And when I say taken down, he's setting himself up. They're going to do smear campaigns. I said it before. Smear campaigns are coming. We're going to learn a lot about Drake that we've never known before. And I'm not going to say it's untrue, but I'm also going to say some of that stuff was kept a secret for a reason, to protect probably more the company than anything else. But I'm really certain that Drake is putting himself out here to. I'm honestly scared for the brother, man, because once you get to this point with labels, and especially the most powerful label in music, it's no turning back now. Like he's going to get cooked. They gonna cook him bad. And it's funny too, because just like when the petition was filed, social media is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for this company. Y'all look like company men y'all look real bad out here. For some of the stuff y'all seeing, some of these social media, some of these content creators making videos about the Drake contract, y'all are doing a lot of heavy lifting for the company and not for Drake. And I'm not saying y'all supposed to ride for Drake, but what I'm trying to say is y'all are helping the company in whatever they're trying to do to devalue the man yet again. And if it was you who were trying to negotiate a contract with what kind of money you was trying to get, you wouldn't want social media saying the type of stuff that they're saying about Drake, about you. It's nasty out here, bruh. And some of the takes y'all have and some of the flags y'all are planting looks crazy, because when were we ever the people who were on the side of the labels? When were we the people that were on the side of the companies? We're supposed to be going against those people. We're supposed to be trying to get out the mud and get it independent. That's what we're supposed to do. This fight with UMG is, again, not hip hop. It's not about hip hop. It's not about music. It's about business. And y'all are making this look really bad right now. It just looks like y'all are doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the companies, and y'all don't care. And a lot of y'all are just like, this is sad, man. This is a sad day for hip hop. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Because half of y'all motherfuckers don't even know Kanye. Y'all ain't even heard Kanye West's first album. What are you talking about? Half of y'all don't even know if I gave you a a specific song from a early Kanye West album, y'all niggas would not know it. Stop with this fake love of hip hop and this fake love of what the culture brings. If you want to monetize and get views and clicks from what is happening, state that. Stop acting like you care about the craft, the culture, and all the other shit. That's what I get. That's what fucks me up. Y'all niggas sit up here and think y'all standing on the love of the culture when at the end of the day, y'all niggas don't care about none of that shit. You care about your views, your likes, and your fucking, your streaming check or your YouTube check. That's what you like. Just saying. All of this stuff that y'all are doing is just heavy lifting for the labels. And I know you're just like, man, well, there's more to it than that, man. Like, he's snitching. I've seen niggas snitch for less. I've seen niggas snitch for a chicken dinner before, bro. Don't get it fucked up. Don't get it fucked up. So I just think that this lawsuit and this case is way bigger than what we think it is. And if this swings a certain way, things are going to look completely different, and it's going to change the landscape of music, hip hop especially, because we're the first ones to get scorched earth when it comes to bad shit. So what does this look like? What is the outcome? What happens? What do we see as potential outcomes? I was having this conversation with Hakeem from Decipher Media. Shout out to Hakeem, my homeboy. We were talking about this, and one of the things that I said was, worst case scenario, if he loses, they just let him out the deal. Now, let me be completely honest with you. UMG ain't stupid. They're not gonna let a good worker go. I can tell you that right now. But let's say if he did, this would mean Drake would be an independent artist with a very, very, very scarred history or past. But you know who else is an independent artist that's got a very scarred history and past? Kanye West. Worst case scenario, if Drake decides to take the leap, if Drake decides to have the courage, he could be an independent artist, which one way or the other could crumble or put a big dent in the music industry right now. And I don't think UMG wants to have that. So what's the other side of that? Possibly more control over some of his brand deals, maybe a bigger percentage of what he's been getting, maybe even getting some of the music rights back from some of his past work. Maybe he could actually get the bag that he has most definitely been looking for. What else? I think that's it as far as like on the Drake side of things. The UMG side of things, if they win, well, that just means they have even more control over Drake, and that could keep us from having good Drake albums ever again. It could be a situation where they'll change everything. We might see deals even be put out there a little bit differently. I don't know if we'll ever see another artist get a $400 million deal through a label ever again. I just don't think that'll happen. And if they do, that just means all of the rights of everything are signed over to that label. So, I mean, if UMG wins this, all they do is retain control of Drake, retain control of what future music he has, or whatever the case may be. They pay less for him, and we just get shitty Drake music for the rest of his deal. Or, last thing, which might make a lot more sense too, they settle it out of court. They handle it privately. They resolve the matter. They avoid anybody getting public mudslinging from either side. Drake doesn't get devalued anymore. He could actually get a settlement that could help him or get paid something that's going to satisfy him. Still less control and just a bag. I don't know if he's gonna stand for that, because again, when you think about how valuable Drake is when it comes to music, when it comes to executive producing, when it comes to brand deals, I don't think UMG is willing to give him a bigger piece of that pie, but just pay him, just give him the money that they feel like he's owed, and just go forward with that. It's a lot of different scenarios that comes from this. The outcome could be great for one side and horrible for the other side. It really depends on what your viewpoint is. It really depends on how you're looking at this and how you value either the artist or the company or whatever the case may be. I don't think they would ever let him become independent, though, personally. I just know that they know how much money he generates and how much money they know that they can take him into a room and say, "Here's Drake," and people are just like, "Oh man, like here you go. Here's $500 million. Do what you will with it." Um, I hope that we get this resolved sooner than later, because if this draws out throughout the year, it's gonna look worse for Drake than it is for UMG. And I think UMG has been playing the game for so long, and they understand how shit works. They have done this for so long that they know what to do. So we'll see. Let me know. Tell me what you think. Do you think Drake is right in even doing this lawsuit? Do you think this lawsuit is more about hip hop than it is about music business? Tell me in the comments. I want to, overall, just tell me what you're thinking in general when it comes to this particular topic. Please subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel, man. I love being interactive with you guys. I answer the comments. I'm in the comment section with y'all on a regular basis. But please support the channel, help grow this into something bigger than what it is, and become a socialite, man. Be a part of the STEM society. I will catch you guys next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.